As of the morning of April 6, 2026, the Artemis II mission has reached its most psychologically taxing milestone, the transition into the Lunar Far Side's radio shadow. This phenomenon, known in orbital mechanics as loss or loss of signal, is a brutal consequence of linear physics. The Orion spacecraft communicates with Earth using the S-band of the electromagnetic spectrum, waves that travel in a strictly straight line. Because the Moon is a colossal 3,474-kilometer-wide ball of dense silicate rock and iron, it acts as an impenetrable physical shield. As Orion's trajectory curves behind the lunar limb, the direct line of sight to the Deep Space Network antennas in Canberra, Madrid, and Goldstone is severed. For the next 30 minutes, the four astronauts, Reid Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Jeremy Hansen, will become the most isolated human beings in existence. They are entering a zone where no human voice can reach them, and no emergency command from mission control can save them. It is a digital blackout that forces a multi-billion-dollar machine and its human crew into a state of absolute, terrifying autonomy. This period of forced silence is a haunting echo of the Apollo era, a time when being behind the moon was the ultimate test of an astronaut's nerves. During the Apollo 11 mission, Michael Collins famously described this experience as a unique brand of solitude, noting that since the dawn of time, no human had ever known such loneliness as he did while orbiting the far side alone. However, the crew of Artemis II is pushing this isolation even further. Unlike the Apollo missions, which stayed relatively close to the lunar surface, Artemis II is utilizing a free return trajectory that swings them deeper into the void, reaching a record-breaking distance of over 400,000 kilometers from Earth. In these final seconds before the signal drops, the atmosphere in Houston's mission control shifts from technical chatter to a heavy, anticipatory silence. The flight controllers can only watch the telemetry data flatline, knowing that for the next half hour, the survival of the mission rests entirely on the integrity of Orion's onboard computers and the steady hands of its crew.
Once the final telemetry packet reaches Earth and the signal flatlines, the Orion spacecraft enters a state of high-tech digital hermitage. In this void, the ship's onboard control system, OCS, becomes the sole arbiter of the crew's fate. Unlike the International Space Station, which enjoys a near-constant high-speed data link with ground control, Orion must now rely on its internal state vector, a complex mathematical estimation of its position, velocity, and time. Without the ability to receive Doppler tracking updates from the Deep Space Network, the spacecraft's inertial navigation systems and star trackers work in a closed loop to maintain orientation. This is the moment where the free return trajectory is put to the ultimate test. This orbital path is a masterpiece of celestial mechanics. If every engine on the spacecraft were to fail at this exact second, the Moon's gravity would naturally whip the capsule around and hurl it back toward Earth's atmosphere. However, natural doesn't mean safe. A return without active propulsion means the crew cannot adjust their entry angle, turning their homecoming into a terrifying gamble against the friction of the upper atmosphere.
The most chilling risk during this half hour of silence is a blind engine malfunction. While Artemis II is designed as a flyby mission, the European Service Module, ESM, must still perform critical attitude control to ensure the heat shield is correctly positioned for the journey home. If a thruster were to fire unexpectedly or a fuel line were to rupture while the ship is behind the lunar limb, mission control in Houston would be blissfully and tragically unaware of the catastrophe unfolding 400,000 kilometers away. There is no undo button in deep space, and there is no way for Earth to intervene in a real-time crisis. The astronauts are trained to handle hundreds of failure scenarios autonomously, but the psychological pressure of knowing that no help is coming, not even a word of advice, is immense. They are encased in a pressurized titanium shell, moving at over 2,000 miles per hour, surrounded by a silence so absolute that the only thing they can hear is the mechanical hum of the life support systems, keeping them alive in the dark.
As Orion clears the lunar limb, the astronauts gaze upon a world that has remained hidden from human eyes for over half a century. Unlike the familiar man in the moon seen from Earth, the far side is a battered, chaotic landscape of jagged highlands and deep impact craters like Tsiolkovsky and Daedalus. In this 2026 mission, the crew isn't just looking through small glass panes. They are equipped with high-definition 8K camera arrays designed to map the lunar surface with unprecedented clarity. As they reach their maximum distance of 400,000 kilometers from Earth, they officially break the record held by Apollo 13, becoming the most distant travelers in human history. This isn't just a sightseeing tour, it is a vital reconnaissance mission for Artemis II, searching for stable landing sites near the South Pole, where permanent sunlight and shadowed ice craters coexist. Despite the breathtaking views, the silence behind the moon serves as a stark reminder of a major technological gap. While NASA plans to launch LunaNet, a satellite constellation that will act as a lunar GPS and Wi-Fi network, it is not yet operational for Artemis II. This means that for now, the far side remains a dark zone for communication, a relic of 20th century orbital constraints. Future missions will have constant contact via relay satellites, like China's Queqiao, but the crew of Artemis II is among the last humans who will ever experience the raw, terrifying silence of being truly disconnected from the rest of the world. They are the bridge between the analog past of the moon race and a future where the lunar surface will be as connected as any city on Earth.
As the timer in Mission Control ticks toward the 30-minute mark, 1 billion people on Earth hold their breath. Suddenly, a faint spike appears on the monitors of the Deep Space Network. The first telemetry packets from Orion have breached the lunar limb. "Houston, we have reacquired signal," the Capcom announces, and the tension that has gripped the world for half an hour finally breaks. For the crew, the sight of the blue marble of Earth rising over the lunar horizon is more than just a beautiful view. It is a homecoming. They have survived the most isolated phase of their journey, proving that human intuition and modern engineering can thrive even in the total absence of terrestrial support. The silence behind the moon didn't break them, it validated them, turning a dangerous orbital maneuver into a triumphant return to the light. The legacy of Artemis II is now etched into the history books. By breaking the Apollo 13 record and navigating the Lunar Far Side autonomously, this crew has paved the way for Artemis III and the first human footsteps on the lunar South Pole in over 50 years. This mission has shown that we are no longer just visiting the moon, we are learning to master its environment. As Orion accelerates back toward Earth at incredible speeds, the 30 minutes of silence remain a haunting reminder of the risks of deep space. But they also serve as a bridge to a future where Mars missions will face months of similar isolation. Today, we conquered the lunar shadow. Tomorrow, we will carry that hard-won experience to the stars. The moon was just the beginning.